Geoff, great win, 3-0 against May and Baker. Take a moment to say also there's something going on at the Dog today, which I think it's important that we mention and support, which was the Clapton FTFA were playing at the Dog. Obviously, meant a lot of people were, well, some people were doing both, so credit to them. But yeah, it's important to mention that and get behind it and that ridiculous ban on trans players for the women's team. Um, and obviously we support that very much. Today here, 3-0, and to be honest, it's like that result never really looked in doubt, although it took us a long time to score. We scored just before half time, Fred Taylor getting it as well. So Fred hasn't scored for a while in this good run. So talk us through the first half, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we were relatively in control, but you see, with these sort of games, when you play the opposition who play particularly one way, and they're just trying to pry on that mistake, that one mistake that we might make, and then probably try and see out the game. So it's very important we stayed well, we concentrated and we stayed focused and try to again just to probe, because I think the longer you go on a run, the more these teams start to respect you. So if you notice, they were sitting off us
Yeah.
and saying, "Look, you have the ball, try and create stuff," and they were sort of trying to stay compact, and we were trying to find different areas to probe, and obviously we're trying to get the ball out to David as much as possible, because he had these fullback on toast, but we struggled a little bit to do that towards sort of like the latter part of the second half. So what we did, we just made a bit of a tactical change. We put Fred out on the wing again because he's starting as a 10 today.
Yeah.
Flav in the middle. So then we've now got two outlets, and then we just try to attack them on the outside, which again I always thought that's where we're at our best, when we've got two outlets and sometimes two marauding sort of fullbacks as well. But it takes a lot of concentration, as I said, and people like Will, Sam having a lot of time on the ball and making the right decisions. Because there's one thing having time on the ball, but then you've got to make the right decisions. And when you do make the overloads and you do make the triangles, it's about being positive and making the pass forward at the right times. And Nathan was dropping in as well. He was absolutely outstanding again. Nathan everywhere, covered every blade of grass on the pitch, and the thing with Nathan is it's always very infectious, because he presses, he's always on the front foot. It leads the other players to do the same, and I think that's a big difference between us now and sort of this season. I think we in midfield, I think we go after teams much better, especially away from home, because our away form is absolutely outstanding. I think barring the Stansted game, I think it's always been positive results. So um, yeah, I think we just had to again get the breakthrough, because that was key. Because I think if they got it, then again it becomes a difficult game. And then once we got the breakthrough again, I felt even if we got the second, I couldn't see them scoring today. That's a testament to the team at the moment and how confident they are, following the instructions, and doing what needs to be done.
Okay, let's miss out, Sham, because you talked about the second goal. So let's go straight to the guy
His
who
main
scored
man.
it, the returning Tami. So, I mean, you came on early second half for Dino at right back, but talk us through your goal.
Yeah, I can't really remember how I got the ball, but what I know is I got the ball. I started driving forward. I saw David. He was in space out wide. Drew my defender out. Played David. He played a nice ball in across the goal. I think Cam was about to shoot. Defender blocked it. I anticipated that the ball would come out to me. I reacted first. I simply just smashed it in.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and enjoying university? You're back this weekend?
Yeah, it's been decent. I'm enjoying myself. Learning a lot.
Okay, great.
Have you been clubbing?
Fair few times, I must say. Fair few
Okay.
times, yeah.
That's good, City. Sham, let's turn to you. Been clubbing, Sham? You've been clubbing yourself recently?
Nah, mate. I'm past that now.
There were quite a lot of players. I mean, coming on second half in particular, and as Geoff said, we kind of felt like we were in top as well. But it was good to see people like Jamal and
Very much so,
getting minutes as well. And talk us through the kind of depth of the squad. We had a new player today as well.
Yeah, we had Bradley, obviously at fullback. Obviously, we've had other players who started the game, but obviously playing on slight niggles. Enzo was one of them. Obviously, Cam as well. We want to protect, because obviously we know how injury prone he can be at times. And so it was nice to see Jamal get minutes. Obviously, the week before it was Seb, so it shows that obviously the strength of the squad. People playing on the Sunday for our dev team as well are getting minutes as well. So it's a collective. As I said to all of them in the huddle, it's not just for the 11 on the pitch. It's a squad, and the players are not here. These players are coming in, filling in, and doing the job.
Yeah,
doing really
absolutely. And I thought, I thought Flav came off, but I thought his work rate when he switched to that centre position was really impressive as well.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of ball recovery in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that's probably his sort of best position, probably more centre of the pitch. I mean, he'll do a job anyway up top or out wide, but I definitely agree. Once Fred went out wide and Flav came into the middle, he came into his own, really. He started getting on the ball. The work rate was there, winning first, winning seconds, and yeah, he done really, really well.
Third goal came late, but it was exquisite when it came.
Nathan Cooks?
Yeah, lovely lob.
Outrageous, isn't it? Outrageous. I mean, the team was on a great run, and as Robin pointed out to me in the dugout, in the last 4 games, we scored 16 goals and conceded 3.
Yeah.
And out of the 3, the 2 were the really late goals in midweek against Rayleigh. So the team is really, really on a good run. And me and Geoff always said last couple of seasons we've been quite with the squad, quite honest with them, saying that our away form at times isn't great, and we're going away to teams in and around us and not picking up maximum points. But this season, I think the strength and depth in the squad, the character, we've got more talkers in the team, and now we're starting to get results on the road. But we've always had a great home record, but now we're even harder to beat away from home.
Back home next week, Geoff. I can't remember who we're playing, but we are back home. I know that.
That's how easy it is at the moment. I think it's AS London.
Okay.
So I think we spoke before in terms of like the first half of the season, in terms of that we're playing teams in and around us. Now we're obviously reaping the rewards of that and necessarily playing teams that are further down the table. So it's up to us really to put ourselves in a good position to when the second half of the season comes around. You know what I mean? We're going into games not necessarily having to win. I think it makes a big difference in terms of like the game plan, the mentality. When you're chasing teams down, and you've got to win games, you have to go on the front foot. Where we don't necessarily have to win. That's not going to be our mentality. We always go out to win, but I think it makes a big difference. So, again, there's another 3 points. I'm not sure about the other teams. What's happened today, but we're leaving it in our hands, and that's the most important thing. Because again, so don't added pressure. Because let's just say we were points behind. This now becomes a must-win game. It's a bit tense. Do you understand? It turns the whole sort of atmosphere different. So, again, we're at home, so we'll always go for the win, and we're just going to try and keep this form going as long as possible. And there will be a slip up at some point, but it's how you come back from that, really. And you don't let the blip go to 2 or 3 games, and then you get back on another run, and that's key. But as Sham said, look, we've added sort of a lot of quality. I think people like Will, Bradley, experienced players who played sort of higher up the pyramid as well. It just makes a big difference. Do you understand? When things are not going right, they know what to do. Also, it's instructing the other players and not letting standards slip, because it's easy to come here and be complacent. After the first 20 minutes, we could have just sat there back and thought, we're going to win this anyway. And then that's how you come a cropper, because you concede one and all of a sudden it's a different sort of game. And I think lessons have been learned from earlier in the season when we were in a similar scenario against Burnham, Basildon, where we were the better team, probably thought it's just going to happen, and then we've ended up losing those games. So it's very important that I said that the key that players are understanding what needs to be done every day, every game, and turning up every game. You need to, you turn up at this sort of level. You can't just go through the motions and expect to win. And it's good to see, as you said, we're able to rotate the squad. I think that's everyone pretty much in the squad that's played now. And it's early in the season already, because I did tell them pre-season we're going to need everyone, and this is the backup pre-season where whoever came in did well. So they've obviously said, when needed, they'll be used, and that's key. And I think it's good for the morale as well. Morale's probably as good as it's ever been really at the moment. Everyone, when someone new comes in, whether it's someone in your position or not, you want them to do well because you want the team to do well, and that's the mark of a good dressing room, and something we've never really had in here, a non-toxic dressing room. But it's really positive at the moment, and you see that reflective on the pitch. When someone scores, everyone goes and celebrates. These are the little things which build team morale, and it will stand us in good stead towards the end of the season.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks
everyone
all
for coming out.
Cheers.
We appreciate it, and we go again.
Thanks.